Alright, so in this video I'm going to be talking about the order of operations and showing you examples on how to solve questions. Alright, so I'm going to start off with something called BEDMAS. This is an acronym in which the B stands for brackets. And the E stands for exponents. The D stands for division. The M stands for multiplication. The A stands for addition. And the S stands for subtraction. Alright, so this means in a long question, say something like that's like 7 times 12 divided by 4 times 3 plus 7. This is the order in which you would go through. So first you check if anything has brackets, and then if they do, you solve what's inside the brackets first. Second, you simplify any exponents. Third, you go through anything that is being divided. Fourth, you multiply anything that needs multiplication. And fifth, you go do addition. And sixth is subtraction. Alright, so with that being said, I'm going to show this example. 1 second. 6 times 4 divided by 12 plus 72 . Alright, so let's go through BEDMAS. Alright, so brackets, there is none, so we could skip that step. Exponents, there is none, so we could skip that step. Division, there is division right here. There's 4 divided by 12, and there's 72 divided by 8. Alright, so something to know here. 1 second. I'm going to plug a calculator right here. 72 is divisible by 8. 72 divided by 8 is 9, so that works out. But 4 divided by 12 would give you 0.33. Continuing, so just for this, you wouldn't do the division just yet. So you would not do the division just yet, and you would multiply 6 times 4, which is the next step. Alright, so here, what we can do is maintain the 6 times 4 divided by 12 plus 72 divided by 8 is 9 minus 9. Alright, so we did the division step. Actually, I wouldn't say we did the division step fully just yet. Alright, so now let's move on to multiplication. Alright, so 6 times 4 is 24. We maintain the divided by 12 plus 9 minus 9. Alright, so now going back to BEDMAS, we did brackets, we did exponents, but we still have to do division. Alright, so 24 divided by 12 is 2, and then you have plus 9 minus 9. So we successfully finished brackets, exponents, division, multiplication. All we have to do now is addition, subtraction, which is definitely the easiest to. So we have addition. 2 plus 9 is 11 minus 9. So we did addition. Now we have subtraction left. 11 minus 9 is 2. Alright, so that is a question, an example of BEDMAS being used. I'm going to put on a little bit more of a difficult question. Alright. Move this a bit up. Alright, so this question's a bit long. 1 second. 1 second. Seven times 8 plus, in brackets you have 26 minus 3 times 5. 26 minus 3 times 5, and then that is the close the squiggly bracket and close the full bracket. So, alright, so let's go through BEDMAS. 1 second, move up. Alright, so there is brackets, so we have to solve what is in the brackets first, which will take a while because basically this whole part is in brackets. Alright, so we're definitely not going to be multiplying anything by this 9 for a while, so let's solve what's inside the squiggly brackets first. Alright, so, oh no, not the squiggly bracket, what is inside the bracket that is inside the squiggly bracket. There's so many brackets. Alright, so 7 times 8, we do not do that one just yet, plus 26 minus 3 times 5. So going through BEDMAS, you're not supposed to do the subtraction just yet, you're supposed to multiply them first. So it's going to be 26 minus 3 times 5 is going to give you minus 15, which just making our life a little more simple, we could just rewrite this as 11 because 26 minus 15 is 11. So this as 11. And then we could close off the squiggly bracket and close off the bracket again. Alright, so going through BEDMAS again, we're still stuck on brackets. We have to maintain, oops, 1 second. We have to maintain the 9. And then 59, we do not subtract anything by 59 just yet. We still have to do what's inside the squiggly brackets. Alright, so now we have 7 times 8 plus 11. So we do that just now. 1 second, start clear. Plus 11. We're going to get 67 from that. Alright, so now everything's starting to look a lot more simple. Alright, so 9 times, we're still in brackets just yet, but as we're doing brackets, we're slowly going through exponents we could check off because there's no exponents, but we're slowly going through this checklist, which is division, all your basic arithmetic, which is division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. So from here, we could use the, oops, 1 second, we could use the more simple brackets. So we could just do 59 minus 67, which is negative 8. And 9 times 8 is, 9 times negative 8, sorry, is negative 72. Alright, so when doing BEDMAS questions, you could definitely use integers with negatives and positives. Something you should know is that anytime you see a question, I'll give you an example, that is like, sorry, I'll use a different color. You get example like 7 times minus, I'm not going to use x because it's like a variable, so I'm going to use a dot. 7 times negative 8 plus negative 3 minus negative 3, I'm going to look a little more here, plus negative 9. Alright, so something to note here is that anytime you have two signs that are next to each other, such as a positive and a negative and a negative and a negative and a positive and negative, just like here, you could bring them together to make the expression a lot more simple. So if you have a positive and a negative right beside each other, that just represents a negative. If you have a negative and negative right beside each other, that just represents a positive. And if you have a positive and negative right beside each other, that represents a negative also. So basically, if you have a positive and a positive right beside each other, that expresses simply just one positive. If you have a negative and a negative, that expresses as a positive also. And if you have a positive and a negative and a positive, vice versa, it expresses as a negative. Alright, so by simplifying this expression, you could just simply write it as 7 times negative 8, that doesn't change, minus 3 Oops, that was a little too high. We can write it as 7 times negative 8 minus 3 plus 3 minus 9. Alright, so that was some background information on BEDMAS and some questions involving integers with negatives and positives. Alright, hope you enjoyed.